Today we're breaking into a lot of TSA Confiscated Buck Knives, just so you know. Just so you're aware. Today we're breaking into another lot of TSA Confiscated Knives. This is a lot of buck knives. I paid just shy of $500 for this. So without further ado, let's see what we got in here. So right off the bat, I see we have a knife that is open. Let's see what we got here. We have a Buck 290 Rush from 2016. It's a pretty light, feels good in the hand. Assist open. Let's see what else we got. Here we have a Buck 726 Mini Spitfire from 2014. Here we have a buck knife with no model number on it, so I don't know if that means that it was made before 1986 or if this is some kind of imitation or rip-off. Not sure. I don't know how to identify this one. But let's keep going. A Buck 285 Bantam from the year 2020. What a good year, right? Moving on, we have a Buck, obviously, 284 from the year 2018. This is another Bantam knife. They call this one the Bantam BBW. This is a Wenger-made Swiss buck knife called the Taskmate 2. I've never had one, but I have read about them. Very interesting. Moving on, we have a Buck Parallax 318 from the year 2007. If you're wondering how I'm dating these, there's a little symbol next to the model number in which I'm just looking at my fancy little chart, but this one is in fact from the year 2007. Moving on, we've got a very, very shiny Buck 722 from the year 2014. I believe they call the 722 the Spitfire. So we have a Buck Spitfire from 2014. Feels very nice. This might... Pretty sure it's aluminum. Okay, wow, we got a big guy. What is this one? Here we have a Buck 864. I believe they call this one the Iceman, and I was severely disappointed when I turned it over and saw the C word on the back. Moving on. This is interesting. We have a crosslock buck knife with no model number, which, according to my little chart here, claims it is from 67 to 72, if it says Buck USA without a model number. It's kind of weird because it's like a plastic, which I wouldn't think would be from the 60s, but nonetheless, this knife is actually very sharp. Somebody has got a very fine edge ground on here. Moving on. Here we have a Buck 110 Folding Hunter 50th Anniversary Edition. This does not have a model number. The 2014's 50th anniversary editions did not have a model number. They had the Buck USA stamp with the Anvil 50 years on the blade. I see we have another, maybe perhaps two more 110s hiding in here. This one has some wear, not a 110. We have a Buck 112 Ranger. Based on the dots around the 112, I'm going to say this is an 80 to 81 according to the internet. The tip is busted off. This has been carried a lot in its life. Brass is all beat up. Seen better days, but still very cool. Get this tiny little guy out of here. Here we have a Buck 325 from the year 2013. They call this knife the Collie. I'm not really sure about the special edition laser etch on the blade. I can't find much on that. It is made in China. A nice feeling little knife though, nonetheless. Here we have a Buck 110 Folding Hunter from the year 2019. It's in fairly good shape. I would say it resided in somebody's pocket for that time. I've actually never owned a Buck 110 Folding Hunter before. I have the 110 fixed blade. I like that a lot. It's actually a very cool knife. It has a fairly large blade for a folder and a nice simple design. I think that's kind of what Buck is known for. Not that I'm an expert on buck knives. Moving on, I have got a assist. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe not assist. We have a Buck 340 from 2015. They call this the Vantage model. Plastic scales. Is it called a scale if it's on a folding knife? I don't know. Been playing around with Victorinox for a while now. It does say USA on it though, so I will give it that. Let's get the pink one. The pink one feels kind of chancy if we're being honest. We have a pink USA made Bantam 285 from the year 2011 pink camo Bantam. Well, this is a little funky looking knife. While I figure out how to get this thing out, this is a Buck 750 Red Point from the year 2018. It is kind of disgusting, so I'm going to go ahead and close that one right back up. You know what I just realized? I forgot my gloves today. This is nice. I like this one. I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's a buck knife, clearly. We have a... Wow, that opens very nicely. Well, maybe. If you're a little more coordinated than me, it opens very nicely. See, I'm actually left-handed, so... Anyhow, this is a Buck 327 from the year 2018. They call this the Nobleman. Made in China. I can't believe I said I liked this one. Anyway, I'm only mildly kidding. We can move on. I see this big guy laying in there. We have a Buck 110 Folding Hunter. This one particularly has 2 dots either side of the 110. Is from 81 to 86. As you can see, the 2 dots on either side of the 110. USA made. Feels very nice. Moving on, we've got a more modern looking, a Buck 736. The Buck 736 from the year 2019. I believe they call this the Trekker model. Made in China. Wow, a little gritty. Very gritty. So we're going to put old gritty over on the pile. We have a Buck USA, very chintzy feeling 284, which is the Bantam. We have a Buck 284 Bantam from the year, that is a 2016 camo Bantam, the smaller Bantam, whatever that's called. Moves on to this old guy. Made in China, can't be that old, right? It is the Buck 379, Buck 379 from 2014. I found the Big Brother equivalent to this in one of my previous videos, if you care to check that out, which I'm sure you have already. The Buck 379 is called the Solo. Very traditional style folding blade pocket knife. Moving on, we've got the bigger brother to the Solo. This one is a Buck 375, a double blade knife made in China. Up next, we've got a wood-handled, very light wood, like a birch maybe. We've got a Buck 327, just like the engine. 2015 model, made in China. The Nobleman, 327 Nobleman from 2015. Wood-handled, kind of nice. Kind of feels like it would get beat up real easy. Here we've got a Buck 385 from the year 2017. Very similar to the 375 that we found, except this one has a slightly longer blade. The 385 is also known as the toothpick. Not sure I would use it as a toothpick. Here we have a standard issue Buck official plastic baggie. And going on to the actual knives. Wow. Oh, don't mind that. That might help. We have a Buck USA 293 made in 2018. The Buck 293, also known as the Inertia. Very sizable knife. I would imagine this is, well, it says Buck USA though, so I don't know. It kind of gives off China vibes, if you know what I mean. A little chintzy feeling. It has a locking feature on the blade. Here we have a Buck USA. We have another Bantam, a 285 made in 2018. Seems to be a common trend. This one has a little rusty rust on the blade, but nonetheless, another camo Bantam, the full-sized Bantam. Ooh, this feels nice. Here we've got a Buck 290. It is another Rush. That is the first knife we pulled out. A second one. This one seems to be in slightly better shape. I don't know if I noticed this on the first one or if it was even there. This one has an Idaho engraving. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. Very, very smooth. And here we have a Buck 283 made in the year 2016. A little small. It's a nano Bantam, they call this. Chintzy. I'm not sure I like that very much, but you know, each to their own. And here we've got one of these little clip knives, the bottle opener thing. However, I found these before in one of my previous videos, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I'm sure you already watched it though. I already made that joke once, right? Anyhow, bottle opener, tiny little blade, obviously made to reside on a keychain or something like that. This is a 759 made in the year 2009. This is the first USA made Metro. I have the Buck Whitaker version. I found that in the previous video. Not sure why they would make the same knife in the USA and in China. It's kind of odd. This one has a flashlight on it, and I don't know if that's original. Doesn't really look like it. It says thumblight.com. I can't really make it do anything, but anyway, moving on past the little clippy clip. We have the much bigger brother to the other vintage style knives. We have a Buck 371 made in the year 2019. This one here has suffered some blade damage near the tip. Still nice to find anyhow. The 371 is also known as the Stockman knife. Pretty cool. A little bigger than its little brother here, but very similar. Okay, we have a total of one knife left. And this one, engraved, it says Preston. Well, Preston, you lost your knife, and that kind of does suck because it's a buck knife, you know? Buck knives are always kind of crappy to lose. This one, wow. I'm going to go on a limb and say Preston was probably pretty young. He somehow managed to do some pretty significant damage to this blade, like chipped It almost looks like somebody just took the thing and just whacked it on something. But anyway, this is a Buck 327 made in the year 2013. The 327, also known as the Buck Nobleman. I actually really do like the finish on this knife. I mean, I would probably carry this. I don't know how I'd feel because my name's not Preston, but very nice. Very simple, very straight to the point. Stainless, which means it ain't gonna rust or anything. I would carry that. I like that a lot. So I guess that's it for my Buck Knives from the TSA. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, you know the deal. Thanks for watching.